Hi there. I am Lisa Buckaloo, and I am your instructor for this particular term. You have signed up for Math 1483 at OCCC. That's called Functions and Modeling. So it has some algebra in it. It has some graphing calculator shortcuts in it to help us analyze some situations or applications. And it has some data analysis where we're looking at tables of values and trying to figure out what's going on. So we'll be using our calculators and a little bit of statistics to kind of analyze some data sets. So that's the modeling portion of it. Okay, so let's go over just quickly what kind of things you need for this class, because I've got all the stuff on Moodle and in an email as well. So I just wanted you guys to kind of see my face and see I'm a friendly person. You can ask me questions. You can set up a Zoom office hour with me, and I will be happy to work with you and answer your questions or refer you to other resources or whatever you need. Okay, so of course you need a computer with a high-speed internet connection. The MyMathLab has videos and lots of good visuals that you need to be able to run without it, buffering and stuff like that. I just mentioned MyMathLab because that is the source that we're going to use. It's a website that we're going to use to do all of our work for this course. I will not use Moodle for this course other than to post grades. So don't email me through Moodle, email me just through the OCCC email system or through the MyMathLab site itself has an area where you can email me as well. So in the MyMathLab website, it's got a list of assignments I want you to do. It's homework assignments and test assignments. That's all we have. So homework's 40%, tests are 60%. There's an assignment tab. When you first enter the course, it has all the assignments listed in order from top to bottom. So just work them in that order and you'll be fine. Pay attention to the due dates. This particular lecture video that I'm making is for an 8-week class. So if you're in an 8-week class in particular, keep on those deadlines. Try to work ahead if you can, because 8 weeks isn't a lot of time. If you get sick for 3 days or your kids get sick or something happens and your internet goes down for 4 days, which sometimes happens when we have ice storms or tornadoes or whatever happens, it's really easy to get behind, and it's a real challenge to try to get caught up, particularly if you're on the 8-week pacing. So I recommend, if you possibly can, work ahead, get ahead of the deadlines, give yourself a little breathing room in case something you could not foresee happens and you're unable to work online for a few days. Okay, so I don't use Moodle. I'm going to use MyMathLab. About the testing in MyMathLab, if you have, for working the regular homework assignments, that MyMathLab will run on just about everything. It runs on a cell phone. It runs on Safari, Mac devices, tablets, Windows, PCs. It runs on lots of different things for just doing your homework assignments. However, for testing, we have testing security that needs to be installed on the computer that you need to take your test on. So, you can do the homework on a tablet, but it may not have enough storage for you to download it's called Respondus, but that's the testing software they're going to be using. So if you aren't working on one of these regular Windows PCs types of computers, you need to figure out where you're going to take your tests. If you have access to some other computer that you can use just for testing, but you want to use your tablet when you're just doing your homework, whatever it works for you, but you'll have to take your tests on some kind of a secured computer. The Respondus doesn't work on smaller devices or cell phones, and it also doesn't work on a Mac device. So if you have a MacBook or anything like that, the test won't be able to be taken on that. So you can either find access to another computer that you can just use for testing once you have that Respondus software loaded onto that computer, or you can come up to the OCCC Math Lab. We do have computers. It's a huge math lab. If you've not been on our campus, it's really useful. It's got a bunch of computers. It has very useful staff for tutoring and answering questions. They know everything about our course. They know everything about the graphing calculators that I'll talk to you about in a minute, but it's a really, really good resource. But what they also have are some testing computers that already have that software installed on it so that you can go out there and take your test in the math lab. So if all else fails and you can't find a computer in your own world that you can download the Respondus onto, just come out to campus and you can take the test on campus. So just be aware that the situation for testing is a bit more restrictive than. Is my dog eating a bird? No, that is something else. Sorry, I just got very disturbed there for a second. Okay, so anyways, where was I? I was talking about what was I talking about? I was talking about the security, the testing. So make sure you either get a secure computer set up to take your test, or you can come up to the math lab and take your test in there. I have posted the hours of our math lab on our website that we're going to use so that you can always log in and see when they're available. One other thing you're also going to need, because we do all kinds of data analysis and we do applications, is something. This is like a nicer one, a TI-84 Plus with the CE screen. It doesn't have to have the CE stuff. A lot of them are just a big kind of chunky plastic calculator, but it's a TI-84. That's what we recommend. Or if you have something else that works and does the same things like an HP or something that you're familiar with, go ahead and use that if you want to. But we have all kinds of videos and resources and documents that are specific to this calculator, the TI-84 Plus. So it's the easiest one to learn if you haven't learned anything yet with the resources that we have provided for you. So we recommend the TI-84 Plus. You can come up to the math lab and just lease one for the term for $25. Or if you're going to have several math classes, if you've got a business calculus or statistics class in your future or something, and you want to invest in one, they cost somewhere anywhere from like $100, $120, $130, depending on how nice of one you get. But if this is the only math class you have, you might just go to the math lab, lease one for $25, and then just return it at the end of the semester. So you have to have good high-speed internet connection. You have to have the graphing calculator, and you have to have an access to my math lab. That is what we use for the course to do all your work. So it's a Pearson publishing product. If you buy it online from their company, it costs about $70 now, I think. I'm not exactly, but in that ballpark. If you buy it in our bookstore, then it costs a little bit more, but it's still way cheaper than buying a textbook. I can tell you that. So let's go ahead and get on that immediately. If you're strapped for funding at the moment, you can also register and go ahead and begin a course and have a 2-week kind of trial period for free where you could get in and start working. And then at the end of 2 weeks, if you still haven't paid up for the code online or bought a code and typed a code in or whatever, then it will stop you from progressing. But you can get a couple of weeks in just by going to the site and registering, and then clicking the, delay the payment, selecting the 14-day temporary access if you need to. But everybody needs to get in and do that right now and get started, because this video, again, I'm making it for an 8-week course, although this might be used for others in the future. If you're doing an 8-week course, you don't have a lot of time to mess around. You really need to be working every day and start as soon as possible. Like, get into my math lab today and start working. It doesn't take but one time getting sick, or for your kids to get sick, or for a storm to come and knock out your power and your internet for a couple of days, and then you're behind. And if you're especially in an 8-week pacing, it's really difficult and stressful getting caught up, particularly if it happens, later in the semester or the term. So I recommend working ahead if at all possible. Keep on those due dates in my math lab. Don't take a day off after you've had a test, but keep working and get ahead a little bit, just in case one of those unpredictable, unforeseen things happens. It keeps you away from working for a few days. You won't fall behind. And most of the students that have not successfully completed my courses were due to something like that. They weren't able to finish in time. Something kind of knocked them out for a week, 2 weeks, and they just couldn't recover from that. So work ahead if at all possible. Keep in contact with me. So school email is what I am required to use to communicate with you about any kind of status in your course, like how you're doing in the course, what you need to, if we're looking at your homework or tests or something. So I know a lot of you are students at other schools, either high schools or other colleges, and you're just kind of dropping into OTRIP to pick up a class. So make sure that you're communicating with me through the OCCC student email account that you have been given. Make sure you put that OCCC student email account in your My Math Lab settings when you're setting up My Math Lab. If you already have an account, just log in and go up by your name and edit your account to make sure that it has your OCCC student email, and then make sure to check your email every day. I do send out quite a lot of emails to my online students, particularly the 8-week ones, because it's just go, go, go all the time. So check your email daily, just to make sure you don't miss an important announcement from me. Another way that I keep in contact with you, keep you informed, is when you first log into my math lab, you'll see an announcement screen. That should be the home screen or the landing page, whatever you want to call it. Check that every day before you just immediately go to the homework. Check and see if I posted a new video that might help you learn a particular section of homework, or if I made an adjustment to a due date or something, letting you know or reminding you that tests are coming up. I post things in there all the time that are supposed to be helpful. So check the announcements before you go over to your assignments link and start working through your assignments. So just check your email, check your announcements when you log into the course. And then, when you're working on your assignments, go in through the assignments link to do that. If you need to talk to me and we need to go over some problems, or you have something else you need to talk to me about, like regular office hours, because we're all online right now, I'm doing office hours primarily using a Zoom session. So I have the particular Zoom meeting ID posted inside my math lab as well. And I have hours that are posted, and that would be the best time for me to meet with you. So if you just let me know, say you want to meet with me on, Monday night at 6 o'clock, and I can say, I'll be there. I'll see you at 6 on Zoom. Or maybe I already have someone coming at 6. Can you do 6:30? I want to make sure that I have time for you, and that you get your chance to ask all the questions that you need when you need it. Okay, so just because I'm not going to be like live sitting in a empty Zoom session for 2.5 hours, but I am available to hop on it just a moment's notice. If you need me, if you're able to email me, I will email you back to confirm, yes, I'll see you in 5 minutes on Zoom, or 10 minutes on Zoom, or something like that. So that's how I'm going to do office hours. I don't know what else to tell you. I think that's just a basic thing. Just don't suffer in silence. If you're really struggling, email me and let me know you want to have a meeting. If you'd rather email back and forth, when you're working in my math lab, each problem has a link, an option that says ask my instructor, and it'll pop up a message. You can say, I can't get part C, I've been trying it 3 times. But it will also send me the copy of the particular problem that you're working on with the numbers that you were given, because it generates different problems for everybody. So that way I can look at the particular numbers you were using, and I can write you up a response, and hopefully that can help you kind of get unstuck on that problem and move on. So I just want to let you know that I'm here, I'm available for you. I don't do live lectures where people jump in and I do the lessons live, because my math lab course has pretty good video lectures. They're not lectures, but they are videos that go over just about every section in our course. And so I have for every homework that you open up, there's a link to the textbook if you're the type of learner that likes to read and look through the examples there. It has a video where if you'd rather listen and kind of watch someone explain it, we have that as well. So there's lots of different ways for you to learn the material. And then I do post videos and resources that I have created as well for tricky problems, or repeated questions I've had on a particular problem, or an activity that I had done in a class before that kind of seemed to help the students understand it more. So I do post things, but I don't have like a live lecture for every section that we have. But you do have videos to watch for every section. So you have lots of different, there's videos, there's text. I post learning resources, things that I've made that might be more like an activity or a specific example that I'm working through, something like that. So, and if you need me to post something else, just let me know and I'll create something and get it up in the course. So I'm a friendly person. Don't suffer in silence. Let me know if you need help. Send me something through my math lab and I can respond that way. Let me know if you want to get together on Zoom and I can meet with you. And I just want you to start working right now and just keep it up until we're finished with all 4 modules. So if you have any questions, go ahead and send me an email, lbuckaloo@occc.edu. And I hope to get to know you all somewhat throughout the term. So it's nice to meet you. Now get to work.